Kev's Hobby Showcase. I'm, of course, Kevin. You may have also seen me on Tabletop Jones Productions, where John and I are the two idiots playing board games. And today, I'm going to be continuing painting my the next force that I'm making for the game Battletech with the Northwind Highlanders. So today, I got basically a lance of really heavy tanks. I mean, they're pretty big. So first we got a pair of behemoths and a pair of Ontos heavy tanks. All right, so obviously first I got to prime them, and then when I come back, we'll start on base coats. All right, so stay tuned. And for anybody who's seeing me on Patreon right now, yes, I'm going to be putting YouTube videos up as free content, but I will have exclusive content on Patreon as well. So, so I hope that this grabs your interest and makes you curious about the exclusive stuff. All right. So anyway, like I said, I'm gonna prime these. I'm gonna come back and do the base coat. So stay tuned, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and primer is dry on these heavy tanks. So I'm gonna start on the base coat and see how far we get. All right. Let's see how far we get. We can get pretty far, I'm sure. Oh. And the one thing I forgot to do is grab a bunch of brushes. Oh well. I do apologize for this delay here. Just give me a sec. Or a bunch of seconds. However, yeah, there's one I need. There's another one I need. And that. Okay. Yeah. Now, let's go. All right, let's just get to it. Okay. So, I'm going to start off, of course, with the tan color, Northwind Highlanders. At least they had a couple of different color schemes to go by on that Camo Specs site, and I decided to go with the one that has the tan. Basically, that tan base coat with well, it had said forest green, like on the well, for the battle mechs at least, on on the lower parts of the limbs. So I decided to go with that. I figured I really kind of like that. Plus, that's how I did the other lances that I have of Northwind Highlanders. So I decided to keep it to the same color. Makes it easier. But it's like if you decide that you're going to do something like this, then obviously you choose what color scheme that you're going to do if you're going to paint it to this mercenary company. That's the one good thing that this game does kind of allow every now and again, is a choice as far as the painting goes. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, as far as the green part, that obviously there's no limbs on a tank, so I'm going to go like pretty much like around the bottom part, and try to maybe put it there, and maybe the bottom part of the turret as well. I'm not entirely certain of that. The treads, I mean, both of these are treaded tanks, so the treads are going to be I'm going to use the gunmetal on that, along with the weapons. I'm going to put gunmetal on the weapons as well. All right, this is covering up nicely. Okay. Yeah, these are pretty big tanks. And yeah, they are called heavy. They are called heavy tanks, with good reason. But sometimes the heavier ones. I mean, yeah, if you're going by if you playing the game and you're going by tonnage of for your deployment, yeah, it takes up a lot of that allotment and doesn't allow you to put too many other units out along with it, or at least too many big and powerful ones. But I mean, when you look at the data sheets, the weapons on the heavier units, like the bigger, like the heavy, like these heavy tanks, like you would like heavy and assault class battle mechs. When you use them, sorry, when you look at the data sheets, like I was just saying, you will see that their weapons are usually a lot more powerful, and it's sometimes in some cases a lot more plentiful. Like one of my favorites to use is as far as the battle mechs go, is the Atlas, because it's almost like a walking fortress. It's like remember it's like I even carry that over into the computer game Tactics. I've spoken about that doing these videos before, and whereas they don't with the game they only let you use battle mechs, and unfortunately only one lance of them. At some point I was really hoping they'd have like an upgrade to the game where they would allow you to have more than one lance, or at least the second one. At least the second lance of battle mechs, and they never did anything like that, unfortunately. But when I was playing the game, the battle mech that I really, really grew fond of was the Atlas, because of all the weapons that it had. It's like there were some cases where I was going through a mission, and basically I would fire all my weapons at one particular battle mech, and then the first time I fired on it, basically destroyed it. And I was like, oh, that is so freaking awesome. Yeah, I do enjoy the game. I don't play it a lot. I go in like with my computer games. I kind of go in, like cycle through them a bit, because it's like sometimes I'll go to the Battletech game, and then I'll play that exclusively for like about a month or so, and then I'll go back to like another game. There's like a bunch of games that I kind of cycle through. I go back and forth with them. Okay, looks like we're almost done with the base coats here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the base coat on, then I'm going to take a break, let the base coat dry. Then I'm going to do the areas where I'm going to do the green paint, and then I'm going to take another break because part of it's going to be down where the treads are, and I don't want to be trying to paint the treads while the green paint is still wet. I'd rather wait until it dries. Alright. And like I said in the beginning, I will also be posting this and like all my YouTube videos as free content on Patreon, and I'm going to do it as free content because I figure it's free here, it'll be free there. It's no big deal. But also, it's like on Patreon there is going to be exclusive content, but I need free content to gather attention. So I figure what better way than to put these videos up as free content. Oops, here we go. And just go from there. And I have shared on social media this. They have it where it kind of creates its own post. But I guess I can copy the link and post it on this video. Oops. Alright, so that's it for the tan color, for the tan paint. Okay, so yeah, it didn't take long to do the base coat on those. But so we're gonna let that paint dry, and when I come back, I'm gonna do the areas where I'm gonna paint green. Like I said, it's gonna be near the bottom, also where like the treads are, like the mechanisms in the in the treads that are visible on the midi on the mini or the model. Those will wind up staying green, whereas the treads will be painted gunmetal. But I'm going to do gunmetal after I let that dry. So first things first, let's let the base coat dry, and then when that happens, I'll come back and I'll do the green. So stay tuned. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and that base coat is now dry. So we're going to start on the green detail. All right, so let's get to it. Okay. All right, let's bring this down. All right, so it actually says for this part to be like deep forest green, but you know, this is deep green. I figure it's just as good. Okay, so not as many of the mechanisms showing as I thought there would be, so it's not even an issue. Okay, so let's just get it all. Okay, get a little bit on the other side here. Okay, yeah, so get around here. You know what? I'm not going to go do the turret. I'm just going to do around the bottom. Something tells me if I try to do around the turret, it's going to basically get more into where I don't want it to be than where I do. All right, it's coming up nice. It's coming on nicely. Okay. So this is going to look. I think it's going to look pretty interesting when I get when I do the wash later and I get it all in there. And the base, if I remember correctly, I was doing it in desert. The terrain on the base. So I'm going to continue with that, of course. And yeah, just going to continue with that with the desert now. Now, normally when I do grass, I will say that because of the texture of it, it kind of goes all over. But a grassland base does look pretty good. That's why I keep doing it. But there are other terrain. There are other terrain. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess backgrounds or whatever. There are the terrain types. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Sorry about that. To use, and it's good to try some of the other ones. So yeah, I mean, I also have it for snow. I don't know when I'll use that one. Maybe the next foresight build or paint, I should say. I will use the snow terrain. But you know, just so you know, I mean, no matter how you make the base, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you're using Alpha Strike, it doesn't matter what terrain you're using, and it doesn't. And if you're playing the classical way, it does not matter what the map is. Okay. When you do the base, it is mostly for decoration. Actually, totally for decoration, to be honest. It's whatever you feel is going to make the mini look good. I mean, I would say make, you know, whatever to make it look good for you. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't heard of too many competitions where, you know, you would, you know, kind of, you know, where you would prepare your Battletech forces and be judged on, you know, the painting job and the basing job. I mean, there could be little events out there like that. There could very well could be. You know, I just have never, you know, heard of them. So yeah, so you know, it's mainly just for you. Okay, let's get this. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, but you know, but let's face it, we all like when those of us who like to paint minis, we do like to show them off. I mean, it's why. I mean, I'm sure many of you have noticed that while I do these you know, when I do these videos, when I put them together in between, you know, the takes, I post pictures of minis that I've done before. And of course, it's because I want to show them off. You know, I'm no different than anybody else that does this hobby. You know, you know, you want it to look good for you, but you know, you still in the back of your mind, you want people to say, "Oh wow, that looks so cool," so you can get like that sense of pride of a job well done. You know, you know, we're all guilty of that. It's a guilty little pleasure. All right, so, but yeah, it's. I mean, this is. I really consider this a nice hobby. I love, um, you know, painting these, trying to kind of bring them to life, so to speak. Excuse me. I don't know why my throat's a little scratchy today. So yeah, but anyway, it's one thing I will say, and I think no, I'm pretty sure it was yeah. It looked. I mean, when we did this, when John and I did this game, everything was painted that we used, and I would say that it looked good because I really was pleased with the way it came out. I think when I take a break next, I'm gonna I'm gonna take a drink for myself. Oh, well, we're almost done. Okay. Ooh. Now one more to go. And yeah, when I come back after the next break, I will be doing the gunmetal on the weapons and the treads, and yeah, and along with that, I will do the like the black to touch up the base, so it looks nice and clean when I put the labels on. And I will say this: I mean, this is not only for me, I guess you could say, kind of sort of therapeutic, but it's also, I mean, I've also gotten better at it, so it makes me feel good that um, that as I'm doing this, you know, my skills are improving because I'm doing it more often. Because what I was doing before is I would set something up to paint. I would paint a little bit of it, leave things to dry, but I wouldn't go back to it for like several days usually. This, it like, you know, when I started doing this, it kind of forced me to go, you know, to do it all in a day. But honestly, I like it better that way because now things get done, and they get done, you know, relatively quick. And you know, like I said, I mean, it's like I am getting quicker in some aspects of this, and I feel like I'm getting better skill-wise. So, you know, I feel like I feel like when there's something that has to be a little bit more elaborate, I'm able to do it rather than shy away from it. So yeah, making these videos has helped me out tremendously with this little hobby of mine. Oh, still got the back to do. I've been doing my best to make sure I still have minis to paint so that I can still keep making these videos. And as always, you know, liking, subscribing, and sharing, you know, it's the best way to help support, you know, me to do these videos. Because eventually I would like to get to a point where I'm monetized, and we'd like to do the same on Tabletop Jones Productions. Alright, that's it for the green. Okay, like I said, that's it for the green. So we're going to let that dry, and we're going to come back. I'm going to do the gunmetal on the treads and on the weapons, and I'll do the black to touch up the base, and then after that it's just the basing and the wash and it's all finished. So stay tuned, and I'm going to come back, do some more details. Okay, I'm back, and I've given that green paint some time to dry, and now we're going to start on the gunmetal. Alright, so here we go. Sorry about that. And alright. Yeah, we get both the gunmetal and touch up with the black. Alright, so let's get the treads first. Trying to be careful that I don't get the paint anywhere else. Okay, let me choose a better brush. These bristles are going every which way. Give me a second to choose a better one. Okay, hopefully this will be better. So yeah, I keep hearing, I don't know if you've heard that whistling noise. I keep hearing that whistling noise in the, you know, where I live outside, and I was trying to, I couldn't figure out what it was for the life of me. I thought someone was out there, you know, literally whistling constantly, and I was trying to figure out why. Until I realized from someone that I work with that that sound is also used as a notification on the cell phone. Like you can choose that. I was like, oh, okay. Then I'm not losing my mind. All right. Get these big ass guns. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I haven't looked at the data sheets for these yet, but I'm kind of interested to see what these big guns are. If they're autocannons, if they're laser guns, you know, laser cannons, if they're you know, anything else. And they got 2 little missile racks right up in here. Now let me see where, oh, actually there. Got 2 little things protruding from here, and don't know if that would be guns, but I'm going to paint it anyway. All right. So, I'm also trying to keep an eye on the battery in case it gets close to dying. Sometimes that's the big race with doing this. It's getting things done before the battery dies. All right, so so like I said, you know, we're going to be John and I are going to be making a schedule for Tabletop Jones Productions so that there is a better chance that what you see me paint here will be appearing there soon. And really the main reason why it's taken so long is because of, you know, personal and work schedules that, you know, it just didn't really line up for us for a while, but we're getting it back on track. I mean, it's easier for me to keep this channel on track because it's just me, you know? You know, there's nobody else involved other than me. But on Patreon, you know, if anybody is viewing this on Patreon, you know, I will from time to time have, you know, I guess you could say guests with me. I mean, I know my children have agreed to, you know, basically appear on anything that's exclusive content. And sometime soon, for exclusive content, I will be posting a game, well, once we play it and record it, a game of me and my son playing. It's most likely going to be Star Wars the deck building game. Now, I know they recently put out another like edition or version of it where it basically covers the Clone War era, which is great, but I do not have that yet. I just have the one that has the, well, it's like what's, I mean, it's like either you people call it the original trilogy era or the Rebellion era. So that's the one that I have. That's the one that we'll be playing. And I have to say, he was excited about doing that because he already knows, you know, that he can beat me in it, because that's what happened when we played it the first time. Is he, you know, he pretty much he beat me with it, you know, playing that game. So yeah, he already knows that he can win. And if he does, well, so be it. You know what? I'm not gonna be ashamed of losing to him. You know, as long as it's a nice, entertaining game. And, you know, I mean, I don't know when my daughter would be able to appear. She does attend college. It would have to be when she does not have classes and when she has the time, because her schedule is a lot more tighter than my son's at the moment. Mostly because of college, though. So yeah, that's something to look forward to and like I said, it will be on exclusive content only that they appear. Now, so anyway, right now, as far as membership goes on Patreon, I do have only one tier, which I have called Ready Player 1 and Player 2. So, if I ever do have an opportunity to have both my kids at the same time, or one of them and say like my sister, who has already agreed to every now and again appear as long as we kind of schedule it ahead of time, I will start another tier called Ready Player 3. But I am reluctant to do that until I actually have members. Excuse me. So, like I said, that's why I'm going to be posting these videos on Patreon as free content to try to get interest to the channels. To the channel, I should say. Excuse me. Yeah, so it's work, but it's work I enjoy. As a matter of fact, after I'm done making this video, not only am I going to be putting this video together, but maybe a couple of others, including an exclusive one for Patreon. I've recently been, like, my exclusive content so far has been solely me playing the Marvel Champions game, which, when you play by yourself, can be very, very challenging. And I know I filmed some games ahead of time, so I should have something ready to go for this week. I've been trying to post every week. I'll be doing the same with the like I said, with the YouTube videos. Like, not only this one, I mean the other one that I recorded today, the story time video. So look for that. And some of the ones I've done in the last couple of weeks. Although not the ones where I'm going to exclude the ones where I'm covering the Giants as a fan. I'm going to keep that just on YouTube. For the moment, at least. Maybe next season I'll include it in what I do on Patreon. But for now, yeah, I'm just going to keep that on YouTube. And as luck would have it, they're on a bye week, so it'll be a good week because they've just been losing badly, blowing leads. It's been pretty hard to watch. But I'll be honest, I started the coverage of that thinking they were going to be a lot better this year than they were last year, and in a sense they are, but in a lot of senses they're not. Alright, just about done with the gunmetal, and then it'll be alright, so that's the gunmetal, and still got some battery power. Alright, doing the bases with the black should not take long. Alright, so I should have enough battery power to cover this. I'll find out very soon. I probably. Alright, so let's just get to this. And as I said it, the darn thing went dead. Yeah, I really like the camera that I'm using, but it does not really give me a warning ahead of time when the battery's about to die. So yeah, but anyway, new battery is in. Well, not new, but the next, the charge battery is in, and I'm gonna finish up the base and take a break because I gotta wait for this to dry. You know, put the labels on, and once the labels are on, I'll come back and we'll do the base, the wash, and then I shall present it. Yeah, and I will admit, as I do all this, as you know, I do these minis every time I paint every time I'm painting a mini, I always look forward to actually using said mini. I don't do this just to put them on display somewhere. Although I think if anybody's seen the short I do have from that Marvel Crisis Protocol Rivals, the Spider-Man and Doc Ock, I do have that. I do have that on display, but mainly because I have, you know, there's from like other sets, I do have minis for both Spider-Man and Doc Ock. So it's not like, you know, I put them in there and then they, you know, can't use the character, you know. All right, so that's it for the black on the base, and it's just gotta wait for all this to dry, so give me a sec. Okay. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna wait for that paint to dry. I'm gonna put the labels on, and then when I come back, I'm gonna do the base. I'm gonna do it in the desert, you know, in the desert format, and I'm gonna be doing, and then the wash, and then it's all finished. All right, so stay tuned, and I will be right back. All right, I'm back, and that paint is dry, and the labels are on. So let's get this finished. All right. Okay. So as you can see, I got the desert terrain ready to go. Now, because these tanks are as big as they are, there's really not a lot of surface of the bases that's going to actually, oops, going to get anything. So I'll just do a little bit here, a little bit there. Yeah, it's not going to show up much as far as, whoops, jumping the gun here. As far as the terrain on these tanks, you know, the base for the for the tanks, it's going to be very minimal, which is okay. I mean, you know, they do take up a lot of the base. Oops, darn it. All right. Yeah, it's going to be very minimal on all of them. So, you know, that's okay because, you know, not everything is going to be the same, you know. Oops. See me. Whoop. Oh my god. I'm batting 1,000 now, aren't I? Alright. Alright. Oops. The Onthos tank isn't going to get much. But it will get some. A little something. Now, this force, you know, as opposed to the other forces I've put together, there's only going to be one lance of battle mechs. There, you know, but you know, I mean, I haven't gotten them out yet. But there are 2 other lances of battle mechs that are already done. I will do that I'll get them out when I'm close to finishing the force. You know, because after this is is basically to do the platoon of infantry, and then after that is another lance of vehicles. I actually do have something different in this set, of vehicles that I picked out for this one. It's got an attack helicopter. Well, 2 of them. So that should be pretty interesting and cool. It's just that there are clear parts of it that I have to attend to and not get any paint or color on it. I just got to make sure that I don't do that. Okay. There we go, yeah. A lot of little nooks and crannies for the wash to get into. And I know if, I've never seen it where I buy this stuff, but I know that there is a form of the wash where it's like like you can hold the mini and dip it in, and instead of brushing it on like I'm doing now. I've never done it. I've never even seen it for me to even get it and try it. I am curious about it. I'll say that, because I don't know which would be better or which would be easier, of doing it like this or doing it like that, where I would basically just hold it and dip it into the wash. But maybe one day I'll find it. Maybe one day I'll see it and I'll say, "Ooh, there it is. Let me try it." And I'm just about done with this. And I don't know if any of you have seen them, but I have been doing shorts related to the minis that I've been painting. I've been trying to do a little quick pan over of them before I paint, and then like a before and after. Before I paint and then after I paint. And that's it. All right, so let's get it ready. All right, so here we go. A lance of heavy tanks ready to be deployed for the Northwind Highlanders. All right, so that's all I got for today. Please like, subscribe, and share this video as much as possible. And thank you for watching. If you're watching on Patreon, please also check out my exclusive content. It's not anything Battletech related yet, but maybe one day I will have something up there. For Battletech, maybe I'll play a game with my kids or something, or maybe I'll find someone, or maybe even John. John's even agreed to come on the showcase on Patreon. So yeah, again, please like, subscribe, and share. And please go to Tabletop Jones Productions on YouTube and do the same there. This is the best way to support me, to support the channel, so I can keep making these videos. And just have a great day. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you again.